Hi, I'm Chad with Mastercam, and in this video I want to show you some graphical workflow enhancements with planes and the plane Gnomon display. When working on a part as complex as this Formula SAE upright, the number of required Mastercam planes quickly adds up. Being able to quickly identify and utilize these planes is very important to an efficient Mastercam user. I plan to machine the upright in only 2 machine setups. The first operation will use the fixture on level 500, and the second operation will use the fixture on level 600. Each of these setups will only have one work coordinate system, or WCS, and as many tool and construction planes as needed to complete the part. Let's take a closer look at the first setup. For this setup, I'd like the XY origin of my WCS to be the center of the indicating bore, and the Z origin to be this face of the top plate. Optimally, the X-axis would be parallel to the front face of the top plate. With my WCS set up this way, I can easily use a probe or a dial indicator to quickly set up the matching work offset on the machine. When setting up this file, I positioned the part and fixture geometry so that my desired WCS was at the origin of the Mastercam top plane. I can verify this by analyzing this solid edge entity. The origin of the entity should be 0, 0, 0. To make sure the top plane is oriented correctly for use as the WCS, I can select the top plane in the Planes Manager, which will display the Gnomon for that plane. Note how Z positive is facing in the same direction as our machine's Z positive, and the X-axis is parallel to the front face of the top plate. When I click anywhere in the graphics window, the Gnomon preview for the top plane disappears. Being able to keep the Gnomon visible for my entire programming session can be extremely helpful, and this is where the Show Gnomons toggle comes in. I can go to the View tab or the Planes Manager to enable Show Gnomons, and now the Gnomon for the selected plane will always be displayed. I'm now ready to start creating toolpaths, so I'll turn on level 1. As I mentioned before, I'll be using the top plane for the WCS in every operation for this first setup. The first thing I need to do is create a facing operation by selecting Face from the 2D Toolpath Gallery on the Toolpaths tab. For my chaining method, I'm going to use outer edges, then I'll select the top face of the part and click OK. I'll leave the default tool for now. On the Cut Parameters page, I'll change the style to zigzag and set the stock to leave on the floors to 0. On the linking page, I'll set the retract, feed plane, and top of stock to incremental 0.25 inches and click OK to generate the toolpath. Next, I need to add facing operations for the 2 tilted faces on the part. I'll need to tilt the tool to machine these faces, so I'll create a couple of new tool planes to help control my tool motion. To easily create a new plane, I can simply click on the Gnomon in the lower left corner of the graphics window, and then click on the first face. The Z positive direction automatically points in the direction of the face normal. This is a 3+2 operation. What that means is we're using the multi-axis capabilities of the machine to get our tool axis normal to the surface we want to machine, but the toolpath we're going to cut once the tool is aligned is a standard 3-axis toolpath. Because of that, I don't need to worry about the XY origin of my new plane. I just want to make sure that the Z-axis origin is aligned properly, since that is what will align the axis of my tool. I'll name the plane Bottom Facing Plane and make sure that I'm setting the new plane as my C plane and T plane. Since I have Show Gnomons enabled, the Gnomon for my new plane stays on the screen and is shown in green to let me know that it is my active construction and tool plane. To create a facing operation for this orientation, I'll launch Face again and use outer edges to select the angled face I want to machine. All the other parameters in the toolpath are automatically copied from the last toolpath I created, so I can click OK and look at this new operation in backplot. There's one more facing operation I need to create for this last angled face, and I'll do this the same way I did the last operation. I'll create one more plane, name it bracket plane, and make sure I've selected it for my C-plane and T-plane. I'll select Face again on the Toolpath tab, select the face, and once the Parameters dialog opens, I'll click OK to save it. Then take a quick look at it in Backplot. By creating these facing operations as 3+2 operations, I didn't need to change my WCS at all. As long as my active construction and tool planes match the faces I'm machining, the toolpath automatically positions my tool in the correct orientation for the operation. If I want to be able to program toolpaths or create geometry across these different planes quickly, I can go to the Planes Manager and enable the display column for each of the planes so that they are always displayed. I can then right-click any of the plane gnomons to set them as my active plane and enable section view, among many other options. Using the Show Gnomons toggle keeps my Mastercam graphics window less cluttered than using Show Axes, and it provides a powerful and efficient workflow by allowing me to interact with the gnomons.